Hello, I'm Patrick Wanis, human behaviour expert, PhD. How do you respond when someone says the following to you, such as, "You're stupid, you're an idiot, you're ugly, you're fat, you really hurt me, you made me cry, you made me so angry, you're immature"? Well, how do you respond? Do you internalize it? Do you hide and beat yourself up even more? Do you fight back? Or do you sit back, listen to what they have to say, and analyze the statement without reacting emotionally? Well, Don Miguel Ruiz, in his book, The Four Agreements, based on ancient Toltec wisdom, has a teaching that says, don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you're immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Now, of course, this is a highly powerful motivational statement. However, though, how much truth is there to this statement? We have two challenges with the statement. Number one, it's a black and white statement. That means that there's no room for exceptions and no room for context. The second challenge is that Don Miguel Ruiz says that whatever anyone says or does isn't about you, it's just a projection of their own reality and their dream. However, if you are part of a relationship with them and this is what they're saying to you, then obviously it's also a projection of your own reality and your own dream. However, we'll leave that for another philosophical argument. Nonetheless, let's take a look at the primary message of this teaching. Don't ever take anything personally. Whatever anyone else does has nothing to do with you. Is that really true? Here's the challenge with that statement. What Don Miguel Ruiz is saying is that you are not responsible for your actions, that you don't create your own reality, you don't affect your own reality, and that you're actually completely separate to your own reality. However, that's not true. You see, we are responsible for the things we say and the things we do. However, we also have a challenge, and that is that most of us are primarily dependent upon the approval, the liking, and the acceptance of everyone around us. Not just the people that are important to us, but usually everyone we come across. And yes, this is a danger because it's an extreme. However, Don Miguel Ruiz also gives us another extreme. He says, completely ignore what anyone else says, completely ignore what anyone else does because it's not about you. And that's false, it's inaccurate. You see, we do affect our own reality, we do create our own reality. Further, we're human beings. We're going to make mistakes because we're imperfect. Therefore, we're going to do things that hurt other people. We're going to do things that affect and influence other people. We're not completely separate from other people. We do need acceptance, liking and approval. However, we need to find the balance. If I'm completely dependent on your approval, your liking, your opinion, your acceptance of me, then you have complete power over me. However, when we're in a relationship and it's a symbiotic relationship where we're mutually benefiting each other, then I want to hear what's happening. Why would we be in a relationship if we're not benefiting each other? And if we're not benefiting each other, then we're not in a relationship and it's time to leave that relationship. The point is we need to find the balance. We can't be at the extremes, either completely ignoring what everyone else says and does or becoming completely dependent upon what everyone else says and does. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz does make a point. If we become completely dependent upon others, upon their approval, their opinion, we will become victims and we will suffer needlessly. So what's the balance? Where is the truth? Where is the right place to sit in this statement? Well, the point is that we need to look at everything that happens in our life and say, to what extent did I contribute to this outcome, to this reality, to this result? This person just said, I said something really horrible and awful. Is that true? Well, it might be. Maybe you've done things and you're not aware of the effect or the consequences of those actions. You see, many of us are still evolving. How are we going to evolve if no one reflects to us what we're saying and what we're doing and how we're behaving and how we're acting. We need to hear that because we're imperfect and we need to learn and we need to grow. We simply can't become purely dependent upon the other person. Now, the other thing is, you see, we're human beings. We need connection, we need relationships, we need love. Therefore, we need to be in relationships. And we need to give and we need to receive. To have a healthy relationship, we need to be aware of the things we say and the things we do to our partner. So, what is the final solution? What's the final word? The final word is simple. Whatever anyone says or does to you, you need to sit back and say, how much truth is there to their statement? Why did they respond that way? Is it purely about them? Or am I also responsible for this outcome, even if it's a percentage of the outcome? You see, we need to be able to express love to each other, to give and to receive love. We need to be able to stand back and say, you know what, someone just gave me a praise, someone just complimented me. Is there truth to that? Yes, there is. Maybe you did a great job and you're not aware of it. Is there any harm in me saying to you, you look great, you did a great job, you've been very kind to me, thank you, I appreciate you? Or are you supposed to stand back and say, I can't ever take anything personally, I can't even receive your compliments or your praise? Again, that's an extreme. So become aware. How do you live your life? What do you do? What do you say? How do you treat other people? And finally, take responsibility for your own actions, because we primarily do create our own reality. You can learn more about Don Miguel Ruiz and his book, The 4 Agreements, because there are some great teachings in that book, at patrickwanis.com. I'm Patrick Wanis.